Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to sky.
Hi everyone, Owlvine here. So I have like this weird red mark on me. I get like heat rash really easily, and I've had my hair over my shoulder, so that's what that weird patch is, in case anyone's wondering. If you can even see it in the video, I don't know. I've got good quality on my camera, but again, by the time I upload, the quality isn't so great because my laptop freaks out if I upload at a good quality. Anyway, so I wanted to talk in this video about, what could we call it? The issues of being a solitary practitioner. So I think one of the hardest things about being a solitary is also one of the best things about being a solitary. And that is our practice is completely up to us. You know, we have total and complete freedom to do whatever the hell it is that we desire to in our own practice, right? This is an amazing thing, and it was a large part of the attraction for me. You know, when I first started learning about this path, I thought it was the most wonderful thing, you know, that I would be able to take myself or follow my own heart in any direction that I kind of desired to, or that my spirit was leading me in. And I've also discovered that this is one of the most difficult things about being a solitary, is that, you know, I don't have anyone that I'm really accountable to. You know, I've got friends that I talk to, and, you know, I can say to them, this is what's been going on for me, and, you know, these are kind of my goals, and, you know, can you help me stick to them or whatever. But ultimately, it's up to me. I think this is true for all spiritualities anyway, because for all of us, our own spiritual path is our own. But I think it's a little bit harder when you are a solitary if you are not in a coven or going to a church or a group or whatever, because you don't have that constant, I guess, support network. You know, they're not around you, they're not kind of doing those spiritual things with you regularly. You know, when we share online or when we share with friends, that doesn't mean that we practice with those people. You know, we generally still practice on our own, but we kind of talk about it or whatever. So I've been finding this for myself. It's been like quite an issue for me lately. You know, on one hand, I love the freedom that comes with it, and, you know, it's so expansive and my practice could go anywhere. But on the other hand, I feel a bit stuck by that sometimes, and I'm feeling a little bit stuck by that at the moment. You know, like, which rabbit hole do I go down? And I feel like I've been stepping down different paths, or kind of following, you know, my heart or my spirit or whatever as I go. But I'm feeling like I want, I guess, a little bit more structure. But I don't want structure placed on me by anyone else either. You know, just for example, you know, there are, the Big Blue Book is one that I've kind of been reading a little bit. I've kind of mentioned it in a few different videos. It's a really good beginner's book. However, it is, you know, completely Wiccan, and I don't jive with a lot of the stuff that is Wicca, you know. So a lot of the ideas out there on witchcraft that are preset, you know, like sort of, this is a structure that you could follow, are very Wiccan, which is fine, but it's just not my cup of tea. So I'm just kind of, you know, struggling with, I guess, placing my own structure into my practice. So lately I've been feeling kind of quite wishy-washy, you know, kind of doing a bit of this, bit of that, but why am I doing this? What's the real oomph for it behind, you know, what's the oomph behind it for me? And honestly, a lot of it has been, it's been like a test of faith. You know, I've been struggling with my own belief in myself. And I guess this is another, I think, probably common thing for a lot of people, but again, particularly solitaries, because we're not necessarily getting that constant affirmation from other people around us, you know, in what we're practicing specifically. So I've kind of been thinking, like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Like, do I really believe this? What are my beliefs? Like, my beliefs feel kind of very tangled up, and some of them are quite contradictory, and I'm kind of like, ah. So I've kind of been in that place, you know. I love the openness and freedom of paganism and of witchcraft, and it is, you know, spirituality and magic very, you know, they are very tied up together for me. And I've kind of just been struggling with my own self-belief, I guess. So that's another thing too, is like structure is one part, you know, kind of what will my structure be? It can literally be anything I want it to be. What is that? And also faith in myself and belief in myself and my own power. It's interesting because over the last few weeks, I haven't been practicing very much at all. I haven't spent much time at my altar. And I allowed myself to do that as well. Like, when I realized I was doing that, and still every day I kind of was holding this guilt about it. Like, oh, I need to get into, you know, into my altar space and like be in sacred space and whatever. And then I was like, you know what? It's okay to have a little time off, you know? Like, you know, I still go outside, and I still am thinking about my goddess, and you know, thinking about spirit. And for me right now, that's enough, and it's okay. And I discovered that once I took that pressure on myself, it wasn't too long after that I would, you know, be walking past my room and kind of looking at my altar going, ooh, I really feel like sitting down there actually. Instead of like, I feel like I need to, you know, I'm like, oh, I want to. So that's been cool. I've been starting very slowly again, like just really just kind of, you know, dipping in my feet. And I've just been really aware that I'm unsure of where my practice is going, but I also feel like I'm holding myself back. And that's why I'm feeling like this. You know, there are things that I really want to get into and explore, but because I'm feeling insecure, I'm not going into those places. You know, I'm not discovering and exploring all the different areas that I want to be. And so it has then led to this kind of almost like dry feeling. And I'm going, oh, you know, what should I be doing? And I don't really know. And I can hear Goddess right now going, you do know. Just sit down and do it. So I hear that. So these are kind of, you know, some of the issues with being solitary, you know, is like freedom to do absolutely anything you want, but then going, what do I do? And, you know, I hear a lot of this, like I've had a lot of people lately asking me about, you know, how should I practice magic, and can I do this in my practice, and can I do that in my practice? One of the examples was someone asked me, like, you know, can I use music in spell work? You can do whatever you want. Like, if you have an inkling to try anything, to do anything, if it seems really wacky and out there, go for it. Do it. No one has to know about it if you don't want them to. And you may find that whatever it is really, really powerful for you. You know, I don't share my spell work on here. When I first created my channel, I thought that I would. But I've realized that it's something that's intensely personal and private. And I like to have complete free reign in what I do. I'm actually a very, very self-conscious person. I've had a lot of issues with self-esteem and that kind of thing. And for me, I need to keep that part of my practice completely for myself. Otherwise, my inner critic comes into those places as well. Because I share some of my practice on here, you know, that kind of mind part gets into those bits of my practice, if this makes sense. I'm not going to go into great detail. But yeah, my spell work is very much only for me. And I find that because I've given myself that safe space, you know, to me, it's my own safe space. No one else comes in here. For me, that allows me complete and free reign in those areas. And I've done things that I would never share. You know, I've done things that aren't, you know, like I may tell a close friend or whatever, but I'm definitely not going to ever share publicly. Because, you know, it's something that, I don't know, people might think ill of or might take the wrong way or whatever. So it's my own stuff. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if there is anything that you desire to do, go for it. Like, don't be afraid of what other people might think, or is this bad, or, you know, whatever. Just try it and see. I think that this is kind of a whole nother topic, but I think that we're a little bit obsessed with fear in our practice. You know, I think that comes very much from our society. You know, we're very much fear-based societies. You know, we have all these rules and regulations for how we need to present ourselves and how we should be perceived and how people do perceive us and all this kind of thing. And we very much experience this in our religions as well. A lot of the time, you know, there's certain rules and ways of doing things, and there's a lot of fear in those spiritual arenas. And I think a lot of that has carried over to people in paganism and in witchcraft as well. I have definitely seen that, and I think this is a topic that I'm going to talk more on because I'm just like feeling a little fire here. But, you know, there's a lot of fear. You know, there's almost like this obsession with protecting ourselves. Like, so many people talk about, I do this for protection. I protect myself this way. I protect. Like, what are you protecting yourself from? I think that if you're always protecting yourself, it's on a mental level, it means you need protecting from something. There's some big, bad, scary thing there that you need protection from. And I think that in some ways can invite that kind of energy in. I think I'm going to make another video on to do with circle and protection and that kind of thing, because I'm just feeling like that's where this is heading right now. So to kind of get back on topic, these are some of the things I've been experiencing as a solitary. A while ago I spoke about this really great series that Anya Auger did on her channel, and it was called Paving Your Own Path, I believe. And it was, I think, 6 videos where Anya kind of led us through kind of like creating our own spiritual practice. And I've mentioned before that I've gone through it twice, just to kind of, you know, the first time because I was sort of right at the beginning of my practice, and the second time I did it because I was feeling a little bit kind of lost and unsure of where I was going. I'm going to do it again because I'm feeling a little bit that way now. But I think that it's a really great series to really ground and to think about some of the things that, you know, we don't necessarily think about on a whim. You know, she doesn't tell you anything to believe or anything like that, but she just gives some really good outlines of ideas to think about. So for example, some different prompts on deity and your views on deity, and some different prompts on symbols and kinds of, you know, she gets you to think about what kind of symbols mean something to you and all kinds of stuff. I can't remember because I haven't looked at it in a while now, but I will link the first video down below. Actually, I might link, if she's got a playlist. I will link the playlist down below. I'll see what there is. But it's really fantastic. So if you're kind of relating to anything I'm saying here about, like, you know, being a little bit unsure, I would definitely recommend checking that out. She's really wonderful to listen to as well. Like, she's just a pleasure to watch. So I would definitely recommend that. So these are kind of some of the things that I've been going through spiritually at the moment. Yeah, I feel a lot better having just spoken about it on video. Like, I feel like I've kind of got my thoughts in, you know, a little bit more in line. My ducks are more in line. But what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks is stepping in the direction of my fear. You know, I'm going to start exploring some of the things that I've had inklings about that I've not really gone into. I am forming a stronger belief in myself through different actions that I've been taking over the last few weeks. I've been seeing my own strength, and I realize that I've reached the point where I've come to a choice. I need to choose to believe in myself. You know, I have some evidence of, you know, my own strength, for example, among other things. But there comes a point where, you know, I've got to stop asking for, like, I need to see my strength, I need to see my strength, I need to see my strength. No, I've seen my strength. It's now time for me to believe in my own strength and step into my own strength. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and my own power. Yeah, I'm going to start exploring again. I'm going to get my feet wet. I'm going to play. And I'm feeling really excited about it now that I say that. Yeah, that's where I've been called to in my practice, and that's where I'm going to be going. And I don't know specifically what I'm going to do yet. I don't really know. But I'm going to sit down and just see what comes out of me at my altar space. I'm going to do the Paving Your Own Path series and kind of discover a little bit more through that. I'm going to find my own structure. I'm going to lay something out for myself, a fresh daily practice that I can commit to and explore and see where it leads me into deeper connection with myself, my own magic, and with spirit. So that's exciting. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something from it. I will speak more on the whole protection thing at some later date. Yeah, I've been wanting to talk about it for a while. It just feels like such a huge subject that I kind of haven't wanted to get into it too much yet. But you know what? I think it's about time. So I hope you all have an amazing week, and thank you for watching. And I've missed you guys, and it's so good to be back, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever that is. See you guys.